Hello and welcome back to Recorder 101, Lesson 29. Today I want to talk or explain or about the importance of building sequences, such as we've been doing with Basse Danse Bergeret. We're also going to get the full score in the course, and playing through. When you build a sequence, such as we've been trying to do in this particular melody, we are training our fingers that they work like this, they work like this, they work like this. And if we get ourselves so that we can walk around wherever and play those particular sequences, we get ourselves so that we can play those sequences whenever they come up, because they will come up again. Moving from quarter notes to eighth notes technically should be teaching our fingers to move a little faster. And that's another thing about building a sequence, is your fingers will move a little faster. Some of the things that we've been working on here are parts of a scale. So that also is building a sequence. And sometimes I've had teachers who were so focused on getting a particular little sequence right that we forgot about the whole picture of playing everything through. So, among the things we need to do is make sure that somehow we balance the learning these sequences and playing them through. So, if you're at all like me, that we know, I've shown you my mistake often enough to know that I have got a problem with moving from the high F on the soprano. And yes, I'm using my plastic soprano because, like all my recorders, I washed it after the last time. So I have a hard time moving from this F and we have quite a few sequences that are like that. The first one is a quarter note followed by a half note, and the next one is a quarter note followed by an eighth note followed by the eighth note. So I really need to take the time. I need to really get that little sequence down, that's something that I'm going to need. And it's not the only time that occurs in the piece. So there's taking that little sequence. Basically, we can call it a two-note sequence. And it doesn't matter if I'm going to make that high F. It doesn't matter how I dress it up. I can make it short, long, long, short, short, short. So the more I encourage myself to play with it, and you encourage yourself to play with those treble spots, it's probably a 2 or 3 note sequence. And if you encourage yourself, okay, I'm just going to play with it. I'm, walk around all day with my recorder in my hand and I'm going to. And of course, part of my problem is the half holing. So all of those things, where's my problem? And the more I let myself play with it and try and make it feel natural to do that sequence, the more likely I am to say, oh, this is where I'm having a problem with it. And then I can build my next set of steps. So we know that that first F, high F, is preceded by, there we go. See, I'm trying to make the Baroque F, which would be complete, have the thumb completely covering the whole. So again, that's something I need to focus on. Mm-mm. So there's a lot for me to work on right there. That's a little sequence. But don't forget that there comes a point when you say, to hell with the sequence, pardon my French. I'm gonna play straight through from beginning to end. And you do so because that's also an important part is, okay, mess that up, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. If you've been to a symphony concert, I mention symphonies especially because a live symphony is going to have things there, it's going to be different. Live music is not recorded music, and so if all you've been listening to most of your life is recorded music, me, when you get to a live performance, you're going to find that it's not quite the way the recorded music sounds. And so even these professional musicians, and most symphonies are professional, are going to have, whoops, wrong note, keep playing. So it's also very important to play all the way through. Okay, so that's been where that is. So now I'm going to try this on the soprano. So, with a lot of just barely getting it right, that's playing the entire piece straight through. Need to get that sort of feel in there. Um, I'm not sure, probably not. Let me tip the camera, the computer screen down a little bit. Altos. Remember, they can look so much the same. And the fingering is different. Yes, you can play the alto. Just pretend that the lowest thing is a C and pretend, but you'll get a different reaction. But our lowest C is here, and our first note is the C, as I've said every time. And the B is there. So So I'm really not ready for that middle section where we've got the C sharp. So I'm really not ready there. So continuing. Yeah. Okay. As I've mentioned before, part of my problem is my vision and being able to read the notes. So the music, the full score, is a little bit too far away from me to see clearly, but it's also unfamiliarity with the whole piece. Haven't been practicing enough. So yes, one of the places where I need to take a sequence is with both recorders is going to be the C sharp. That little for the alto, we've got our D, which which I mentioned a couple of weeks ago. For our sopranos, that's still a C, and so the C, this is our regular C, just the thumb and middle finger down. But when we do the C sharp, thumb goes away and the forefinger goes down. Very much like the B would be, except without the thumb. So that's a bit of a confusion. Let's see how I do with that. That's maybe a bit easier for me because all I'm trying to do there is lower this finger, because that is the so that may not be quite as challenging for you on the soprano. It is a challenge for me on my alto because I'm not used to forming my C sharp, which is ridiculous in a way because I no, I don't. I haven't really used that on my bass recorder yet. And it may be slightly different on the bass recorder. The size of the bore is different. Anyhow, that's this week's Recorder 101. I hope that you're having good luck with this. We'll be back with it next week with a little bit more. So don't forget, keep well and remember to balance the sequencing and playing through.